Woohoo!
Welcome.
BookieCon 2022. I am Brant. This is Jim. It is also Jim's birthday today.
Yes, it is.
A very, very happy birthday.
3,000 of my friends here today.
That's right. That's right. We are the founders of Bookie Call. And about a year ago or so, 6 months ago, we had a crazy idea to host a book festival in the metaverse. And this is the result of a bunch of hard work from our team and our friends at All Seated who host this platform. We are incredibly excited to be with you today. A little bit about Bookie Call real quick. If you haven't downloaded the app, download the app. You can shoot the QR code right on the screen right there and download the app. We are the fastest growing book discovery platform in the universe. More than 350,000 downloads. We have swiped nearly 1 million books. We are hoping that we cross that 1 million swipe mark today. During the festival would be momentous. A couple of quick things, Jim. You want to get them started? Tell them what to expect for today?
Yeah, I think, hopefully just by you walking around, you've already noticed it is an incredible space. I mean, we're going to do a lot of thank yous throughout. We'll talk about our sponsors in a moment, but just looking at the space that you're in was created by All Seated, our friends who have done just a fantastic job. If we were going to do a mega book festival, we did not want this to just sort of feel like it was, lines and dots put together. And these guys have really made it an incredible experience. So hopefully you see the awesomeness and you're going to have a lot of fun with it. There's a lot of things that are going to be going on. We'll talk about the different stages here in just a moment, but there's a lot of meet and greets that are going to happen with authors. A couple places. We've got some fireside chats, if you haven't already seen, in the back of the room. Once you leave the main stage or all the way near the back. And we've got some very genre-specific lounges that you can hang out in. So a couple things that you can do when you're not in one of the stages or up at the main stage. You can certainly browse some of the exhibit booths, which will have some bookish merch, we like to say. We've got a bookstore back there. A lot of opportunities to meet publishers, other authors back there, and maybe just another book lover. You can probably meet somebody here today that just has a love for reading, or maybe even a specific book that you like. One of the places we think is going to be very unique too, if you just feel like you need to take a break, there's a silent reading zone that's sort of in the middle. It's up near the main stage. Just park your avatar there and grab a book from your to-be-read list, and you can read that in the comfort of your own home while you're sitting in the middle of this massive book festival. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Brant, tell them, though, about the stages, because right now we're in the main stage, right?
That is correct, yes. There, as we told you, there are a total of 7 stages broken down by genre. You can see right on the outside. There are some placards there as well outside the stages that have the times that authors are going to be appearing there. You also were emailed a program just before we started that you can look in the program itself. There's a PDF for you to sort of go through and find all of your favorite authors and where they're going to appear and when, including their fireside chats when they are done. We want to thank our sponsors, and there are quite a few of them.
Yeah.
So just real quickly here, we want to thank our friends at Ingram Spark. And we would love to invite Bailey from Ingram Spark up for just a second to say a quick word. Would be amazing. Bailey, there she is. There she is. We are so thankful that we are partnering with you for the first annual BookieCon. Thank you guys so much for believing in this insane vision that we have.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you
Us
so
too.
much. We're looking forward to our partnership together straight from BookieCon, Bookie Call, everything, getting more books into our library so that our readers have an opportunity to be matched with the perfect book. So thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you're going to have some time to explore around, even get a chance to hear Christopher Rice here. It's going to kick us off on the main stage. A quick some other sponsors. So while Ingram Spark is our main title sponsor, we also have Four Horsemen Publications from our fantasy stage, HTP Books on our fiction lovers stage. Button Poetry is not only going to be performing during different parts of the day with some of their incredible poets, but they are sponsoring the nonfiction lovers stage. Blue Box Press and 1001 Dark Nights are doing the romance stage. Let's see, New Shelves is sponsoring the mystery thriller stage, and Inkyard Press is sponsoring the young adult stage. We are just, again, super excited. If you go back towards our exhibitor booths here, you'll see some additional people. The Independent Book Publishers Association is back there. We hope you'll get a chance to drop in with them. Women in Publishing is back there as well. Four Horsemen have an exhibitor booth. FAPA, our own Florida Authors and Publishers Association, is back there as well. We are Central Florida based.
We've got a booth back there too, I think, right?
We do. We have several booths that you can go back there to our bookstore, to the merch. Here's the thing. We are partnering with five amazing book clubs for the course of the festival here. And we have the YA and NA Fantasy Book Lovers. We have the Book Talk Baddies, the Black Girl Book Club, and we have the Book Nerds Book Reviews Book Club. Now, I will say this. We are currently live streaming into all of these book clubs on Facebook. There are 350,000 members that we are currently live streaming to. So we are incredibly thankful for their partnership. We actually have custom merch for their book clubs. You can get one of their t-shirts from BookieCon 2022, where all of the proceeds go to actually support those book clubs.
Yeah.
So do your best to support them. We would love it if you would go in there and do that. Just some incredible opportunities for us to do that. We have a couple last little things before we bring Christopher on stage. Number one, there is a scavenger hunt happening. Mm-hmm. There's a scavenger hunt happening. There are little hidden boo coins all over this joint. So go and find those. If you can find all of them, all 10 of them, you will receive a 20% off on any of the merch today in the bookstore and our merch store back there. There is a blind date quest within the app itself.
My fave.
So while you're in Bookie Call, you're swiping on books, you're going to see these blind dates come up where there is no image of the book, there is no title of the book, there is only the review. And you can read that review. If you like it, you swipe right on it, and you will be able to discover what that blind date is. Once it's in your messages, you can go in there and click and check that out. And then finally, we're having a right swipe contest. So while all these authors are on all the respective stages, you can see to our left there is a QR code, and that QR code can be scanned with your phone, which will bring you directly to the book of the author within our app. Go ahead and pull that up, swipe right on it. We are going to be giving away the Bookie Awards for the most right swiped books in our app.
Yeah, and like you said, if we can
else?
reach 1 million swipes, we're close. But today we would love for that to happen. That would be really fun for us. But yeah, right. Before we jump in, just a huge thank you to everybody. We'll do some stuff at the closing too. But the folks on our team who have probably just spent the number of hours in the last 6 months has been incredible. And again, we hope you guys have an awesome experience. Enjoy your time at BookieCon 2022.
Yes. We're going to invite Christopher to the stage. Christopher Rice, our inaugural launching, our first author here at BookieCon 2022. Welcome. We are excited to have you. Let's see if we can't bring Christopher on stage.
Join the video. Yes.
There he is.
Look how small we are now. We've swapped places.
Listen. I know.
We're waiting for Amazon Prime money to come our way,
That's
and
right.
then we're in.
That's right. We're doing the Tuesday night games this year, which is, there are none.
It's the only night left.
That's right. Well, listen, welcome. For those of you who have never read a book before, perhaps you don't know who this man is. This is Christopher Rice, who writes as C. Travis Rice,
Yep.
and his latest book, Sapphire Sunset, is in our app and just literally blazing up the charts. So we are incredibly thankful for you to join us here today, Christopher. Right?
Said every author.
I know,
ever.
exactly. This is like an introvert's dream here at BookieCon.
Yes. So, Christopher, you've got a lot of people that will ask you perhaps some questions. People might put those in the chat function. We've got a couple up our sleeve as well. And just to really get a great return on investment on your time up here while everybody is now in our space, let's start with maybe the first question. Where do you find inspiration? Like when you're starting to write, where do you kind of go to get that inspiration? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Similar to the songwriters, I would think, right? I mean, we have a lot of songwriter friends who keep these journals in, and every time they find they hear that line, they see that little bit of inspiration, they mark it down so that they can come back to the well when they are ready to write that next song. I would assume it functions very much the same for you. Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious, one of the things we ask within the profile itself to reveal a little bit of the nuggets of our book reviews in the app is what do you spend a lot of time thinking about?
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that we use to help sort of explain a little bit about the book. But we're curious as to these days, what do you find yourself spending a lot of time thinking about? Hmm. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. I would think also, Christopher, you have a rich history of an author's background. I think in a lot of ways, it would be interesting to wonder what you would be doing if you weren't doing this. If you weren't a book daddy, what do you think your ideal career would be? Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Ah. He could
Yeah.
do it now, actually. He doesn't like to leave his
That's
home. With the
right.
advent of streaming, you could be an academic right now from your house. It's perfect.
Yes. Welcome. Welcome. That's it. That's it. We thought it'd be fun to do a little favorite segment here, where we're going to ask you for some of your favorites. Doesn't have to be the favorite, but some of your favorite things. We're going to name a thing, and you give us an example of what that would be. So, let's
A
see.
little rapid fire.
What is who is one of your favorite authors? Yes. Love
Yeah.
it. What about favorite movie? Oh,
Okay.
very
All right.
nice. Very
You don't
nice.
get that very often.
What about favorite junk food?
Uh,
Oh,
the four cheese,
you're
which is
so
almost
right.
always out of my grocery store. That's it. When they do buy one get one free, it's banner.
Do you have a favorite song or a favorite band? Really?
Okay. Oh.
Well, I will tell you, and I wonder if you get this from your mom, but one of the things I loved about her writing was the humanity in it and the beauty, even in the things that weren't necessarily like that on the surface. You have that same sort of an act. Is that where you think you get that from? That ability to find humanity and beauty even in things that aren't? Mm.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Hey, Chris, do you think that you, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, do you think you have some of your personal life that has made its way into your writing? Like, what parts of your personal life have just sort of found its way onto the pages that you write about?
Yes. Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm.
Well, I think it's that layer of authenticity that allows you to connect, right? I think the beauty of what people are reading is they see a bit of that in themselves, and you do it in such a great way that it just resonates at a different level. What would you say is one of the most difficult things about being an author? I mean, we come from the music business, so for us, we sort of know what it's like when you write a song and you perform it, and everyone leaves. What is it? What are some of the difficulty besides the obvious of maybe it not resonating like you wanted it to? But what are some of the difficult things that you face as an author? Mm,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Mm, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Mm.
mm, right, right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then maybe to dovetail off of that, and it might be part of your question,
Yeah.
Brant, that you were saying, what advice, Christopher, would you give? I mean, we got 3,000 people here. They're clearly book lovers, but I think we've all heard everybody's got a book inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's what advice would you give to some of these aspiring authors? Maybe to your point, they don't have the manuscript sitting there and they haven't made that leap. They just haven't started. They don't know where to start. What advice would you give to some of these wannabe writers? They have a book inside of them?
Mm,
Interesting. Mm, that's awesome. Hmm.
it's funny. We were arguing whether or not to ask this question to any of our authors, but particularly with you is that when now that you've opened the door, when you write something that you just it sucks. Like, it sucks, but you write it. Do you let it breathe for to like finish out the chapter before you go back, or do you come back the next day and you sort of go, these 2 pages, they right idea but wrong way that we approached it. How do you do that when you write something that is just not good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is great. I know we've only got about 3-4 minutes left. Maybe just a quick sneak peek. Can you reveal, what you might be working on? Can you give a little bit of what's your next project here? Mm-hmm. 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 Mm, nice, nice. That's great. No, you
Wow.
got a great voice, so it's perfect. You do have a great voice for podcasts as well. I know that you're doing a meet and greet here right after. So, for everybody in the audience, I mean, this was a great opportunity to at least climb inside of Christopher's head. But if you actually want to ask some specific questions and meet him, he's going to be over in the Romance Lounge, and that's at 12:45. So, in about 6 minutes. If that's where you want to be, there's plenty of stages also that you can walk around. But, we can't thank you enough. This was such a great opportunity to spend some time with you. And we couldn't think of another author that we wanted to have to just sort of kick off BookieCon. So, man, this is such a big deal for us.
Yes.
Yes, yes. We'll get through today first.
That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Please go over, see Christopher at the Romance Lounge right now. Have a chance to get a little bit closer with him.
Yeah, and scan his QR code right
That's
there
right.
so that you can grab the book and swipe right. We want to keep those swipe rights going for him. That'd be fantastic.
Correct. Correct. Okay, we are going to be back in just a second here when we have, right now we've got Sabrina's going to be coming up to do a poem.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, let's do it.
noon, I go for a walk through the cemetery, place pennies on the speller graves. I sit in the grass cross-legged with the flowers and write a new religion, where we pray only with and never to. Read poems aloud and remember my favorite lines onto postcards I will procrastinate sending to the people I love. I live alone, 8 states and a border away from home. My cups are clean and upside down in the cupboard. I watercolor peonies instead of licking new wounds. And when my tiny talk between chirps, I do not always check it. I do not wish to see a ghost. I do not wish a summons. I allow myself to go entire days without speaking to anyone except my mother. I swallow 2 bullets blue each night for the evergreen sleep. I have not used the word depressed to describe myself outside of a poem in months, but I am drinking Diet Pepsi again. The thing is, my head is a bright place I would not hesitate to invite you into. I've painted all the furniture marigold sunrise. Today at 7-Eleven I asked for a lighter, and do you know what color the cashier gave me? Yes. Keep me in this canary dream where I sugar scrub my lips soft as butter and pretend to sing. I confess, sometimes I cry when I look in a mirror, but I tell myself it is the mirror who is crying with jealousy. I giggle because I am not afraid to feel silly. In fact, I am not afraid to feel anymore. You know, I wish I wasn't so sad. Have been in such a good mood. Want to know a secret? I think being in love is just a better kind of lonely. July 3rd. It is peculiar. Not the smell of antidepressants. I wake up and repeat every day in the park with the birds and their wing flap rat-a-tat take off. I only dream of staying. But where? But how? I use my fingernails to carve my initials into the bark of the tree in the park where I sit for days, waiting to hear the wind's voice. In the park, I am under the impression the wind has forgotten my name. Under a moonless sky, counting cherry pits, I curse each star for teaching me how to sit cross-legged and burn. I must have died 30 deaths since I last saw myself in the park. The feeling of wanting to say something true knits my teeth together. I blink the minutes by, ask for wishes from blinking street lamps. The raccoons run a racket outside of my windows. On the lids of garbage bins, their noise, another empty threat of company. I do not care for sleep unless the dreams are of water towers painted with my name. A whisper in the wind begs to wait, or perhaps the whisper is coming from me. I want to believe the future is a beautiful place. I reach